Hey guys, so I have wrote this blog just 3 hours ago and I thought to make a video for it as well. So if anyone having issue while reading it, so he can consult on my video as well. Well, it is about encryption and decryption between JavaScript and Python, and as you know guys that the JavaScript got used on the front end side and Python for the back end. So if this is the case, you are on the right place, that this blog will help you to encrypt data on the front end and then decrypt on the Python backend. Well, I have found two packages. Forge named here it is open Forge. So it is for the JavaScript, and for the Python I am using PyCryptoDome. These are compatible with each other, and so I wrote this blog and having all explanations here. First of all, I explained that suppose if there is some text, suppose your password, you want to submit your password on my website, and that password will get encrypted using our system, and it will then convert it to the cipher text, and when we will receive it on our backend, it will then convert it back. We will decrypt it and we will use its actual form to store in the database, or maybe we want to store its encrypted form. There are a couple of scenarios there. Well, we will be using it. Okay, so requirement is use case requirement means I am giving an example that in which case you can use it. The things, some of the things I have just explained, but I have wrote an example here. Well, first of all, I have opened these two links. Packages used, JavaScript Forge is used, and for the backend Python I am using PyCryptoDome. Both documentations are open here. Okay, you can follow along and can use other features of PyCryptoDome as well as Forge. Okay, so these are the open here. Now first of all, talk about what are the types of cryptography and which one we are using. So cryptography is actually a way in which we can secure our data. We change it in another form, so while traveling over the internet no one can access it actually. Even if no actually someone can access it, but no one can understand it actually, because it's not in its original form. So we will be using asymmetric way. In this we will have two keys, one is private and one is public. Private is a secure key. You have to make sure that the key is not surrounded anywhere. You have that private key in a secure place on your backend. And public key is an public key by its name. You can give it to anyone. If someone wants to send you data, then he will use that public key to encrypt the data, and when you will receive the data on the backend, then you will use your private key to unlock it or to decrypt that data. Okay, so we will be using asymmetric key in this blog. Okay, so first of all we have this thing. This piece of code is to generate our public and private key. First of all, we have to go here. We have to create a virtual environment. You guys already know in Python we have to do and venv. Okay, so our virtual environment is getting created, and now we have to go here in the installation. I have to copy this one to install the PyCryptoDome package. First I have to activate this environment. Source venv bin activate. I am using Mac actually, and maybe if you are on the Ubuntu, then the process is same to make an environment to activate it, but on the Windows making it is same, but activating is a little different. Well, we have activated the environment. First of all, I have to install the package, and while it is getting installed, I have to create a file. Let's create a file, test.py. In this file we will copy our code. I have written here this piece of code. Actually I got it from, if you click on this link, the link is here, and as well as in the same documentation, if you go to examples sections and then generate on RSA key, generate public private key actually here. So I got this code from here. When you read this documentation, you will find many other features as well. You can use them later on. So we are using this one to generate our public and private key. Let's paste this code here, change the name to public. It is more actually fine, I think, private and the public one. Okay, so now staying in the virtual environment, I have to run this file, this Python. I have to execute this Python file, so we will have two keys here in the same path. Okay, Python test.py actually. Okay, so it is generating the keys, and now we have this one, private and public. Now what I have to do is going back to our blog, because we will be following that so everyone can understand it. Okay, so first of all, what in this example we are doing, we will actually submit some data from front end, and on the back end we will receive it in encrypted form, and we will receive in encrypted form, and we will decrypt it using the following methods in explained in this package. And I have first of all I have to copy this stuff. Here I have said that make a directory templates, and then inside login.html paste all this code there. Well, copying it till end. Okay, so till here, copy it. Here I have to create a directory templates. Sorry, it's wrong. I have to rename it templates. Okay, inside that I have to create a new file, login.html. I do so many mistakes while development. Okay, let's paste the code here. Okay, first of all, let's go through this code so you guys get to know what actually written in this. In the head tag I have included forge package, which I have discussed just with you. As we are using HTML, so I have to include this one here, and jQuery to send the request on the backend. You will see in a minute. And this is a simple form where we have only a password field label to show password, and this is a submit button actually. When user enter his data, and then he will click on the login button actually. Okay, so if I talk about this script, then script is a piece of code where we will encrypt the data, and after that we will use Ajax to send that data to our backend. Okay, so this is the main piece. I have also added comments already, and this is the piece of code. These lines actually related to forge package, which are using a key, and here we are getting password using vanilla JavaScript, and we are passing it to the forge package, and we are using public key to encrypt that. And at the end, in this line in code use 64 encrypted, we will have an encrypted password here, and then we will send it to the backend. Okay, how we are getting this public key? Actually, this is a way to get the variables value, and we are sending it from the backend. You will see in a second when we will move to the backend. We are sending it actually from the backend, and then here we are receiving it. So in this way we are accessing it. If you have any kind of data, you have to put that, you have to receive the data from the user in the forms or in any other form, then you will access that data in this way in the script tag and encrypt it in the same way. At the end you will get that encrypted data, and then you will send to the backend. If maybe you have different scenarios to implement, just defining all the things so you can do on your way. Okay, so now getting back to our blog, here I am explaining the things in this which I have explained in the videos already. Okay, so actually encryption part is done. I will show you how, but first of all I have to, here I am explaining how should your directory path should be. Like directory I have named it AES encryption decryption. So here I wrote directory, then templates login.html, templates login.html, app.py, and instead of app.py I will create actually app.py in the same directory in AES encryption decryption folder. Okay, so in receiver.pem and private.pem. Instead of receiver, I change the name to public. All other things are same actually. Okay, so adding all this code in the app.py file, what it is happening. Okay, so till here, okay, copy it and coming it into app.py. Okay, so I have to install now Flask. I am using Flask for the backend because we can create a simple endpoint in just uh, in in just a minute with this code actually. Flask we can create any endpoint in just 2-3 lines of code actually. So that is why I am using Flask. But if you use Fast API or Pyramid or Django, whatever framework you want to use to do this kind of stuff, all the things are same. In the endpoint I will explain all the things are Python, so everything is same actually, do not worry. Okay, pip install Flask actually, pip install Flask. Okay, Flask is now installed and let's go through this code. Just copy the same code from my blog and paste it in the place where you want to implement the stuff. Here I have wrote 3 methods. Get public key. Actually, the public key here, it's look like a text, but it is not actually a text. It is some kind of form of binary form. So to read it, we have to follow these things, then it will read in a secure way. So get public key, you will get the public key in this way, and same for the private key. You cannot just go and copy from here. Instead, you have to read it very carefully using these methods. So when you read it, then you can return it in that way. Okay, so this is the method which we will using to decrypt the data. We will pass data here, and then these 2 lines will decrypt our data, and here I am calling get private key method, which will read the private key from here, and private.pem, public.pem. I have already named these. Okay. So here I am creating a Flask app, and in the Flask app I will call these functions actually. First of all, our function, when our this endpoint get hits, it will check if it is a get request. We will return login.html template, which is here we just added, and before while returning it, I am passing context in Django. If you guys are using Django, then you know that we pass, when we render a template, we pass context as well. Just same in that way, pass a variable key and call this method, which will add the public key from here to this key, and inside the HTML template in here you will have access to that key, and then you will use this key to encrypt your data. Okay, going back, we are about to end and everything is implemented. Okay, when you get this, you will return the login.html template. We will talk about this later. First of all, let me start this let me execute this app.py. Okay, Python app.py. Sorry, 5000 is already in use. Okay, I think in somewhere on my system it is running. Let me close it. Okay, it is closed. Now it will run. Yeah, okay, so on 5000 we have running our Flask app, and this endpoint is accessible. Let's get back to browser, and if we go here, localhost 5000 slash login, access to localhost was denied. You don't have authorization and localhost 5000. Let me check what is the issue actually. And the issue maybe is with Python test.py, and let me check the issue, what it is actually happening. Not found and slash login. Okay, so we have it. I think I spelled wrong maybe here. Well, we have opened this, and if I write some, let me open the console as well to show you guys something if it is written here. Okay, when I will paste some suppose password and some data I wrote here, let me actually print it here as well. Encrypted password, Control C, and let me console it as well. Console.log and Control V, encrypted password. Let me refresh it back and add random password. And console is not defined. Oh, console spelling is not right. I am actually doing many mistakes. Don't worry, every developer do mistakes. Console.log. Okay, so refreshing back it. Now login. Did you saw there was an encrypted thing? Let me show you again. And here it was. Okay, going back, once we submit that data in our form, here our vanilla JavaScript then take it and pass it to here, and using that key which we have sent from the backend, that public key, we encrypt the form of password from original to an encrypted form in a ciphertext. Then we are storing that encrypted password in a variable encrypted password, and then here on login endpoint we are sending as a data password to encrypted password. We are passing the password as encrypted password, and in app.py when it is this URL get hits again from this place, then at the time this is the post request actually, and here when it receives post request and this condition runs and we get request.form password which we sent from here, you can see, and then encrypted password is printed here, which is, you can see, encrypted password. What we have entered was this one, and our encryption method changes to this much long string, you can see, and then we have passed the same variable include having this hash string to the method decrypt data, which is here. Encrypt password passed from here to this place, and then we have used these methods. In that we have passed our get private key, which is actually from here. It read the private key from private.pem, and then we are passing it to decrypt data, and our data is getting decrypted, and the decrypted password form is, we are printing both things, encrypted form and then decrypted form here on the console, you can see. So in this way actually guys, you can implement the thing, whatever scenario you have, you can follow this way, even if it is any other framework you are using, but you can implement the same encryption and decryption implementation using this Forge package as well as the PyCryptodome. Links are given there. Here are the documentations. If you want to use any other features, like you want to decrypt, you don't want to decrypt the data right away, you want to decrypt it later on when sending back it to the front end, you can just store directly this encrypted form on your database. Or if you want to encrypt something on the back end and then send it to you want to send the encrypted form on the front end, you will find many other packages, many other methods in this PyCryptodome package as well. So I have added the example here. Here is the method we use to access endpoint we use to access our page, and that's all. Here I added the conclusion. That's it. If you have any question, you can just ask me from commenting here, or you can go to my account, or you can reach me anyway using the comments as well. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you have any question, just drop it. I will answer all. Okay, thanks.